O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Rahur quit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're looking at a pretty fascinating stack of esoteric texts, alchemical illustrations, and psychological research.
Yeah, and the mission here is to decode the allegory of conjunction and fermentation, right?
Right, exactly. Because, as we know, the alchemical great work was rarely about turning literal lead into gold.
Oh, definitely not. It was actually a heavily coded, an incredibly precise psychological map for surviving absolute ego death.
Yeah, and achieving actual spiritual transfiguration. So, okay, let's unpack this central visual from our sources.
Right, the bizarre illustration.
Yeah, so we have a solar king and a lunar queen locked in an intimate embrace on this grassy mound, while a massive, terrifying black crow swoops down from the sky right at them.
Well, to understand why that crow arrives, we really have to look at the mechanics of the union triggering it. They are merging on the philosophical bed.
The philosophical bed, right?
Exactly. The Solar King embodies the active masculine principle, the conscious intellect and structure.
While the Lunar Queen represents the receptive feminine principle.
Yeah, the deep, reflective, unconscious waters.
It's a brutal modern struggle, honestly. Synthesizing that rigid public persona, the polished Solar King version of you that goes to work with your deeply hidden private flaws.
Oh, absolutely.
Forcing those two opposing forces together is just inherently volatile.
What's fascinating here is the dynamic of the conjunctio oppositorum. For the conscious and unconscious to truly merge, those spouses must completely relinquish their sovereign individuality.
Oh, wow. They basically have to die to who they were.
Exactly. They have to effectively die to forge a unified self. This isn't a simple compromise. It is an annihilation of the old borders.
Which explains the arrival of the crow. Synthesizing absolute opposites causes a catastrophic breakdown of existing forms.
Right. Enter the negrito, the blackening.
Yeah, the black crow is the dark night of the soul.
Carl Jung called it the confrontation with the shadow. It is the agonizing eradication of all your societal camouflage until you are, stripped completely bare.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. The source material uses a brutal biological analogy for this process. The caterpillar.
Oh, right, the cocoon phase.
Yeah, when a caterpillar enters a cocoon, it doesn't just glue wings onto its existing body. It releases enzymes that dissolve its entire physical form into a putrefied, unrecognizable genetic soup.
It has to completely liquefy before it can reorganize into a butterfly.
Exactly.
And that putrefaction is a hard prerequisite for growth. We see this psychological decay and rebirth mapped out everywhere as a universal human truth.
Oh, totally. Like where?
Well, it's the sublimation and putrefaction cycles in Elden Ring, or the severe calcinations characters endure in Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time.
Oh, right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, and even Lupe Fiasco's album The Cool, which breaks down personal decay before a truer self can emerge.
So you were in the total liquefaction phase. But that swooping crow isn't just a harbinger of death.
No, not at all.
Because the illustration shows it carrying a paradox in its talons, like a cluster of vibrant blood-red flowers.
Yeah, those flowers act as a biological fermenting agent. They prove that new life actually gestates within the deepest state of decay.
So once the ego is liquefied, this ferment catalyzes rebirth.
Exactly. The mobilized, freed soul then ascends the entwined serpents of the caduceus. It climbs upward toward the great central sun.
The primordial source of divine illumination. But wait, I have to push back on this upward trajectory, though.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, climbing a ladder away from a rotting physical body toward a blinding sun sounds like pure Gnostic escapism.
Interesting point.
Yeah, it's like saying, hey, I'm enlightened now. I'm just going to float away from my messy real-world problems. Does this journey just bypass reality?
Well, alchemy actively warns against that exact trap. The foundational rule is solve et coagula, which means dissolve and then coagulate.
Okay, so it doesn't just stop at dissolving.
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, surviving the dark abyss isn't about fleeing reality. The volatile spirit must willingly return to the physical vessel.
Oh, I see. You take that divine wisdom from the central sun and you ground it back into a regenerated physical heart.
Exactly. The ultimate goal is holistic integration.
So you are fixing the spiritual right back into the material. You don't just achieve enlightenment to escape. You become the living philosopher's stone yourself.
Yes, exactly. You become a solid foundation capable of holding that higher state without shattering.
Right.
You endure the breakdown specifically to rebuild a vessel strong enough for reality.
Wow. Okay, so leave you with this to mull over.
Sounds good.
If surviving the Negrito means completely dissolving your ego, what superficial social camouflage are you currently clinging to that needs to putrefy before your authentic self can finally bloom?